Have you ever wondered why wisdom teeth exist? Why you get goosebumps when you're cold or scared? Why can some people wiggle their ears? Why is there such variation in skin color? Or what is the purpose of a coccyx? The answer to all of these questions relies on what scientists call today
Evolution.
Evolution is the change in the genetic makeup of populations over time. There are multiple processes of evolution, which include genetic drift, gene flow, bottleneck effect, founder effect, natural selection, non-random mating, and mutations.
genetic drift is a random change in allele frequencies from one generation to the next in small populations. This is caused by random severe events.
There is a small population of Culver students, but 3 of them get mono. These 3 happen to be from the same dorm, Benson. Unfortunately, they die. Rest in peace. Now, the population's allele frequency has changed because there are no girls from Benson. Gene flow is the migration of individuals and movements of gametes between populations.
At Culver, the population is divided by CGA and CMA, but one day, a CGA student travels to the unknown.
Battery.
The allele frequency on CMA side has now changed. Bottleneck effect is when a large population passes through an environmental event and only a small number survive.
At the prestigious academies, a weather hold has just begun. Most of the students have no idea and are too distracted playing spike ball in the field. Because of this tragic miscommunication, 75% of the student body dies from a long series of lightning bolts. The 25% who stayed inside have little variation among them. It was only Troop and Atrium who lived. Therefore, the frequencies have now drastically changed. The founder effect is when a small group in a population goes to a near area separate from the population. This small size leads to less genetic variation.
A small number of prep hockey players from the academies transferred to Shattuck St. Mary's. This small group had little variation in them because, they are all prep hockey players. Over time, the population grew, but still had little variation in them. Natural selection is when certain genes are more advantageous than others, which increases their fitness. The unlucky few are selected against and will be unable to reproduce.
Someone decided to go for a dip in the lake while attending the academies, which led to expulsion. Therefore, they were eliminated from the population, thus favoring those who do have the brains to avoid the lake. Non-random mating is both sexual selection and self-fertilization.
Sexual selection is when individuals of one sex mate preferentially with particular individuals of the opposite sex rather than at random. This is primarily about successful reproduction. At Culver, a CGA student is looking for a high-ranking officer to take her to final. When a lowly cadet attempts to ask her to this formal affair, she rebukes him, leaving him to extreme sadness. However, spotted ahead is the regimental commander, very cute and also high-ranking. When he asks her to final, she faints of happiness and then awakens, screaming, "Yes!" She did not accept just anyone. She had a certain preference in her mate.
Self-fertilization is when plants or animals use their own pollen or sperm to reproduce rather than another individual.
This is a flower. It self-fertilizes. I think you get the idea. It does not need a man or woman. It only needs itself. This causes more homozygous offspring in the population.
Mutations are any change in the nucleotide sequence of DNA, often generating genetic variation.
Deleterious mutations are harmful to the species by decreasing its overall fitness. Neutral mutations have no effect on the species. It neither benefits nor hurts the animal. A gain-of-function mutation is beneficial to the species and its fitness.